My friend, we made it.
We made it.
It's been about a month since we've done the KidzCode episode, I think, due to a whole number of things going on. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Did you make yourself some breakfast this morning?
I did.
What'd you make?
I had eggs with bacon bits in it.
Eggs with bacon bits?
It was delicious.
All right, you made your own eggs and bacon bits, you made your own breakfast, you ready to make your own test case generator today?
Yes.
Before we get into that, I'd like to start a little bit. I like to call...
What happened last time?
Yeah. Back through the wormhole of time.
Last time, I believe we worked on this test selection menu.
Yeah.
And currently when we hit generate test, nothing happens.
Oh, really? Nothing's going on? Nothing hooks out of that?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't remember, but could be true. Could be true. Let me get some music going here.
Oh, and this is cool. If we select something in here, it selects it out here as well.
Wait, let me see that.
Wait, here, I'll show you. Like if we select this amount of space, click test selection, we can do this.
What?
Select it out here.
What?
Which might mess with,
That's not, that was unintended.
No, it wasn't.
So, all right. So that's a really cool discovery. I think I want to change that.
Yes, because I think that might mean that whatever we do to the generate test, it will also happen out here.
Yeah, let's go double check to make sure nothing's happening on this. Let's look at the.
I think we execute a line of code, but it doesn't do anything. I think it's just a.
Well, let's see. It is called the test generator. It's this guy. Generate test. There's no event handler on it. Notice there's no click equals and then the event handler. So no event handler yet on the generate test button. We have a slight problem in that our selection is kind of universal and it needs to be independent. So I'm going to fix that. The first thing we want to do is fix it so that when I select here to here, we don't see it over there.
Yeah.
I think. That's what I want to do. Ultimately, what I want to do over here, let's switch over to my machine, I'll show you.
Oh, and we also added the ability to change the quote currency and the currency to watch.
Right, but you have to type, the problem here is you have to type it in, you have to get it right, and because we're right now, I think we're using Bittrex, it's got to be an exchange that Bittrex is monitoring and watching.
Yeah.
Offering up.
So Ethereum, I think, is one we tested.
Yeah, that should work.
ETH.
ETH should work. And you have to hit go, I think.
Right. And then go.
Is it going to clear the whole thing? Yeah.
Yes.
And so now the Ethereum is coming in here.
And we can also change this to EUR.
Yeah, for euros, I think. Try that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right, and we forgot to change this. We didn't change this symbol.
The symbol, they're hidden a little bit behind the Code Rush logo at the top. Let me don't worry about that. I'm just going to launch that and get that out of your way so you can see that. There it is. While I'm doing that, I'm going to drop some seeds here over Campbell. And we'll get some flowers planted over here in the background. I know Campbell's allergic to those. Sorry about that, buddy. Yeah, there you go. Campbell went to the Mark Miller School of Acting, by the way. In case you're wondering. Because you're thinking, wow, he's really allergic. No, he just went to the Mark Miller School of Acting. Okay. All right. I think that's all kind of good. That's what we did last time. Let's dock that back up there. So yeah, we're kind of at a point now where we've got a number of things we want to do, and we kind of need a way to track that.
Yeah.
Excuse me, we could do this, we could use an issue tracker for this, but I think I'm going to just keep it simple for now. And, excuse me, I like to do this on the show anyway. I like to come in here, let's change the layout, excuse me, to that, and now I'm going to say, we'll just put in the words like to do here.
Yeah.
To do something like that.
So, the first thing on our list is to make the selection not universal.
Make the selection independent. Now, what I'm guessing is going on here, Campbell, is we've got a static class. Remember, if I have a static property, and a static class, or a static property and a class, that static property will change for everything. It'll change for everything. Everything that accesses will have the same value for everything.
We also added the...
But if we create an instance, I just want to finish this. If we create an instance, then the instance we can have individual instances for each selection we want to create and maintain. That's what we want to do. Kimball, I'm noticing either you're holding your face incredibly still or the video update is slow.
No, it's slow.
That's too bad.
We also added the show analysis checkbox so that we can turn the moving averages on and off.
Oh, got it. Right, so we can do those on and off. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, selection. So we got to look at selection first. I recommend what we do. Well, here we're talking about our to-do list here. Let's go back over to my screen a second. Make selection independent. I want to get the correct currency symbol. Come on, man. That means, I should have done better. We want to actually be able to generate test cases. That's what our goal is for today. And inside of that, we want to work on the test case UI. I see you got a null reference exception over there on your machine.
Yeah, I was just testing to see if yin would work, but it's not one.
It says, hold on.
Or I have the wrong symbol.
This bitrun ticker comes back real, but data is null. So
it's quote currency.
We can say, hey, if that is equal to null, we can do something else. I wonder what's going to happen on this line of code if this one's going to work. Let's just move down here and see if we can get an exception there. That one worked. Huh. So what we can do is we can say this. Give it a different amount of text. Here's a symbol. We can say data is null. Like that. And then otherwise come down here and we'll do that line of code there. We could also come in and say, well, you know what, let's make this really obvious and say the background is equal to a new, what'd you have? NSB, new solid color brush. Mm-hmm. Like that. Looks like we need to add something here. So some Windows Media, okay. Make it red. And then maybe make it a lighter red so we can see the text on it, or something up in here. Okay? And then, so there's that one. And then down here, if all goes well, check it out, who's here? Welcome, Lass and Matt. How you doing, my friend? And then here, we're just gonna make this color .white, or something like this, right here. Colors.white. Notice colors has a list of all the colors in it. See them? Like that, all the named colors. But color has methods like from ARGB. Does not have the colors in it. See the difference? All right, so now we'll come back up here again and execute this line of code. Uh-oh, edits were made. Something's not compiling. Adding a using directive. Oops.
I love trash.
I love trash. Hey, look at what? He's right behind me, Campbell.
Oh my god.
That almost killed me. That was a close one, Grobosaurus. Good thing you only got rid of that other guy. He was grumpy. He was a grouch. What do I want to do? This. Okay, I'm in edit and continue. So I have to come in and I have to manually fix this like that. And the same thing here. It's a lot of code. Usings are so much better, aren't they? And then here. And then back up here again. But we can't add a new using while we're in edit continue. So there we go. So we're going to
I didn't
change
know
that background to red for the error message and run. And now, there you go. See it? So something went wrong here.
Is in the house.
It's the quote currency. I don't think that's the symbol. Wait, what is this?
The audio sounds different for me. Check, check, check. It looks good to me, but there's a second mic in the room. And that may be what's going on. Is that Campbell's mic may be picking up my volume as well? Check, 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 check. Let me turn down Campbell's just a bit. Check, 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 check. And it does look like, though, my audio is a little low. Check, check, check. There we go. That looks a little bit better.
Oh, wait.
I wonder why my audio went down. It
Symbol.
wasn't like this past a while back. Sounds better now. Less echo. Okay. Let's see. Campbell, you want to give me a test too as well?
Check, 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 check.
Campbell's
check.
low. I'm going to bring
check.
him up a bit. Yeah,
check.
the KidzCode show is a little bit like that. Hey, Design Patterns, welcome. Welcome. I may have just ruined it by turning Campbell's back up again. But, well, volume meter here says it seems like it always sounds you're like in the bathroom on KidzCode episodes. Yeah, we're going to need a different mic. That's great feedback. Great information. Okay, back to what we're trying to do here.
What is the thing? What is it called? It's for the US dollars. It's USDT. For euros, it's EUR. What's that thing called?
What is the symbol? You want to call it a currency symbol. What is the currency symbol for? And then you just say what it is. Well, what's yen? I don't even know what yen is. I would do euros like that.
No, we know that. It's EUR.
It's this.
No, I'm not. Sorry, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for here.
Oh, what is the symbol?
Yeah, what's it called?
For what?
3 letters for it.
Yeah. What is so we're going to say what is the Bittrex symbol for what? What's the thing you want to ask about?
I thought yen was a currency. Is it not? Wait.
Is it yen?
Yen. That might be it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that symbol's available. There's a call that lists them all out, what all the trades are available.
Oh.
And we should
do that after the
yen and yen are different as far as I know, says Design Patterns. I have a peculiar last minute says I have a peculiar memory for sounds, and it didn't sound like it did at the beginning. Yeah, yen is Japanese currency. But just because we know currency doesn't mean there's an exchange on it. So what we
I
can
was wondering if there was.
we can actually like do this maybe list of Bittrex exchanges. See what we get there. Here's the pairs. Okay. I'm pretty sure. Where are they? There's the pairs. So pretty sure if you typed in ADA and viewed it in Ethereum, you would see it. It would work. See that?
It would.
These are valid pairs. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you type in over here, ADA, and over here you
and
type in
then-
ETH.
Okay, got it.
Try it. See if it works. Should be able to hit the tab key to get over there.
Oh, okay.
And hit go. See? It worked. Whoops, we got a whole bunch of stuff over the front. There you can see. It worked because it's not in pink.
Yeah.
If we type in something bad here, like ETM or something like that, and say go, you can see there's the problem. Come back over here, say go, and there it is.
Got it.
Okay? All right. Back over my machine. Here's what we want to do today. We want to make selections independent. If you got here a little late and didn't see this, Campbell, you want to show it to them real quickly? What's going on?
What is?
Show them the selections connected.
Oh, yeah. So
Oh, we need some data points. Don't have any coming in.
I'll change it back to
All right, Ken will work on that. I'll keep going over here. You tell me when you're ready with the demo. We need to wait to get some data points in here. We're going to make this selection independent. I'm going to show you that in a second. Work on the test case UI. This thing I want to be able to assign data points to new variable names. And I want to be able to assign selections of data points to new variable names to use in the test case, right? It's going to be cool. My variable names are going to be over here, and I'm just going to interact with the data here. I'm going to click on a point, and I'm going to maybe hit a button somewhere that says new variable, and it'll pop it in, and I'll be able to edit it. That's kind of the idea. Here's my button. The button will be right up there.
Okay.
It'll say new variable, something like that. What are you saying okay about? What are you thinking?
That's a good idea.
Oh, it's a good idea. Okay. Are currency symbols part of Unicode? Says Lastman. Yeah, I think they are. We just need to find out what they are and get them. Lastman says, or better yet, C# has a class for globalization, so we should be able to just change the region, and it should handle symbols and the separators.
Where are you? We need your help.
Kind of.
Oh, all right.
Good. Just in time. I want you to get that guy. Genesis 7, get him! He's just shooting up your name!
Here, I am.
I tell you, man. Way too much smoke every time, Genesis 7.
So
Currency
here's
sequence.
the problem. We can wait. We can select a space out here and click test selection, and this window will pop up. And in here we can select different amounts, but it also selects it out here.
Yeah, we don't want that. Unintentional. It's because our selection class is a static class. We need to turn it into something we can create an instance of, so we can have independent selections. We need to look at that code and check that out. That was an unanticipated bug, but we got to do that. So anyway, that's kind of what this, the UI is going to look a little bit like this. There's going to be a big fat button that says, generate test case. And the generate test case is going to be so cool. Oh my gosh. It's going to be so cool. I don't think we're going to finish it today. But what it's going to do is it's going to take a screenshot. Let me show you this. Let's switch it back over to my machine a second here. It's going to take a screenshot of the data with all of the labels on it, I think. The labels will be in here for the variable name. So we'll be able to see the labels in the variable. It's going to save that data out into a JSON file. We already tested this before. You okay, buddy? You look like you're
I'm all right.
you're tired or something.
No.
I want to make sure you're all right. I don't want to be I don't want to be all excited while you're not all excited. I feel like I got to meet you at your level. That's what I need to do. Not be so mean,
No, it's all right.
an outer space. You're going to be okay with that?
Yeah.
If I go a little nuts and excited?
Well, I mean, you're always a little nuts.
Here we go. Here we go. Excuse me, what was that? I didn't hear that. Always a little what?
Nothing.
All right. So it's going to take a picture of the data. And it's going to have all the names. Maybe they'll keep the names here. It's going to take a screenshot, save the screenshot, generate the test case. The test case is going to have a reference to the screenshot. So when we open up the test case and we're ready to write the code, we'll have a picture of the data right there. It's going to be the most beautiful, awesome thing in the world. I think we'll finish it by tomorrow. Not today. But that's what it's going to be. That's kind of what we're going to do. Okay?
Okay.
Can you imagine that, Campbell?
Yeah.
Picture with cool data. That's what we're going to do. Also, somewhere in here, I think I want to have a color kind of coded thing where I want to be able to say, I want to color code this selection and it'll be called this, it'll have this region on it, something like that. It'll have some name. So we'll be able to, highlight or mark or annotate that graph in some way with the variable name that represents it. As an example, if I have, a chart that looks like this, and then it goes up here like this, right? I want to be able to come in here and select this range from here to here. Give me a second. So I'll show you a little bit more about what I'm talking about. Let's make it really transparent. Like that. I want to select that and I want to give it a name. I want to call this, maybe I'd call this leading slope, like that.
Okay.
Maybe make that text black instead, like that. And then I want to select, whoops, sorry, too much. Then I want to grab this and select that. Maybe call it trailing slope. Like this. Whoops. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And now I'm going to have two variables, one called leading slope in my test case and another one called trailing slope. I guess I'm going to have to, make that even smaller. So it fits. Like that. And we're going to get a picture of this. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like that. And that's going to come in. This picture is going to be in the test case. So now all we have to do is in our test case, we'll do something along the lines like say, hey, if trailing slope is greater than 1, and if leading slope is less than 1, right, then the test passes. Or we might say then, in that case, our buy indicator might be expected to be here. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So this might be our buy indicator. So we might create a point here that's in time that now says, hey, this is our buy indicator. And now what we want to do is make sure that our engine knows to buy at this point, right? Because the slope has changed and we're rising in price.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So what we want to do is we want to be able to like attach, we want to be able to create variables here. Hold on a second. Let's come over here. We want to be able to create variables that can be of a number of different types. One of the types can be a range of data points. It can be a single data point. And in doing this example, it just occurred to me that it could also be a point in time or a price. A price, some vertical. So my buy indicator is a point in time, but I could also have a price over here.
Oh.
Right? That could be another variable. Price.
Yeah.
And it could be like an absolute price, or it could be a relative price. So it could be absolute, or it could be relative compared to some time span. So for example, if we look across this time span here, if this, let's say that there was way more depth to the value here. It wasn't just, this represented like say $100 or 100 euros, something like that. So from here to here, there's not much change, right? Between 100 euros and maybe 105 euros. It's a 5% change. But here it's much more, right? And so we can talk about a relative, we can look for like some sort of relative price compared to a time span. That's a little advanced. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get that one or not, but I definitely know I can get these and I can get this one. I can get those 4, create variables for all 4 of those. And what's so cool about this, like I say, is that we'll have test cases that are super visual. And once we get them working and running, if there's ever a problem, we can go back and look at them and they'll be very easy to understand. That's the goal. Easy to create, easy to understand. Okay? But we're going to invest some time to make all this work. That's the idea. Okay? So that's what I want to do. All right, let's go look at the code. Let's fix that code. Let's go back over to your machine. Let's look at selection. We don't have to stop it running yet, but I want to look at selection. And yes, see the word static?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
It's a static class, and everything is there's no way to create a second instance of it.
Exactly
Did you
what we need to do.
Yeah, did you bring your raincoat?
No.
Oh. Pudding says,
Pudding.
if Campbell is awesome, Pudding play. And he says, Pudding play Rory. You want to see the Rory one? Look out! That's Rory! He's over there! He's right in front of you, man! So rude! That's Roy. He's our host 3 days a week, Tuesdays through Thursdays. Roy does an excellent job. Kimball's my host on Fridays and Saturdays. I thought I was a Roy for the show, says Pudding. I don't know. I don't know who's the Rory for the show. All right. So here's the deal. When we created this class, I made it static because I was thinking we would only have one selection, right? But we don't.
No, we do have. We need to have.
Yeah, we need to have multiples. So what we're going to need to do is I'm going to do tab to next reference on here and start to understand how the code interacts with this. Because this was about a month ago when we wrote this. So can you hit tab key for me and let's look at the code and let's see if we can figure out what's happening. Pudding says it's like casting pudding into the Rory type. Okay. So this is my button test selection click event handler. I know that much about it. What do you think? What can you tell me about this code? You can tell me about.
Commented code? Okay.
What can you tell me about all that code down here? You can just give me a general answer like, will it run or not? If we run this, will this code run?
Well, we commented it out, so I doubt it would.
It won't run. It's just a bunch of commented code. So this is the stuff that's really happening. What's happening on line 75?
On line 75, it checks to see if there's a selection.
Okay.
And that's when we click test selection. And if there is a selection, then it
What's this line do?
it creates the test generator.
Yeah, the test
window.
generator form. And this line shows it. See the variable there?
Yeah.
Okay, so those two lines of code show the test generator. We create a selection chart translator, we create a new chart translator, and we call it selection chart translator. Okay, could have called it selection too if we wanted to. We go find the selected points, get points in range. Look what we're passing in. Selection start. See this?
Selection end.
This is that same static
Yeah.
class. So it's got a start and end.
So it.
Then we go to the tick graph and we set the chart translator with the one we've grabbed right here. And then we call draw a graph on it. And then we're done. This is essentially up and running, and that's all the code we have.
Yeah, so that shows it, and it checks to see if the selection exists. And then it shows the test generator window, and it adds all of the points that you selected.
Yeah. Let's keep hitting tab next reference on selection. See what else is using it. So the code for selection here is pretty easy. If selection exists, then we're going to use selection start and selection end. Right? All right, what else we got? What's going on down here?
If selection doesn't exist, we return.
Scroll this up a little bit so we can see, because I've got some references down here. I want to bring them up. Okay, so if the selection doesn't exist, then we're out. Okay?
And that would bring us to...
Here we need to grab, looks like we're grabbing the start and end of the selection.
Oh, when do we call updates? Oh, yeah, all right.
Keep hitting tab to next reference. Selection exists. Using start and end again. Okay, cool.
And that's for... Oh, the chart translator.
Yeah,
Alright.
you're just getting the left and right side there. Let's keep going. What's this?
Oh,
Update selection if needed. If selection mode... Oh, this is inside tick graph. Notice we changed files. If you shift tab, go back, I think you'll be in main window. Is that true? Nope. Oh no, we've been in tick graph for a while. Keep going. Now we're in main window.
okay.
All right, keep going. Down to tick graph.
So that brings us to tick graph.
So tick graph needs to have a selection. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going down. So this is all part of tick graph. It needs to have a cursor.
Oh.
Handle mouse down. Okay. So tick graph's going to need to have its own instance of a selection. Keep going. And we're hooking the events.
What?
This is
What
so
does
that we
mean?
know when the selection changes.
But what does hooking events mean?
Well, hooking events means we're listening to the event. If there's an event, it's like, here's an example of an event. When you're hungry, wait, don't make that sound so.
Sorry.
When you're hungry, you want to let people know. So that's an event. And if I was listening to an event, I might hear you say, "I'm hungry." Okay? But for me to listen to the event, I need to explicitly say, "I want to listen to Campbell's event." Because otherwise nobody's going to hear you. You're in a room all by yourself. You're a class, you're an object, that you're an instance of something. Nobody's going to know anything that's happening unless they explicitly come back and say, "I want to listen to Campbell's events." So I might pick up a phone and call you and say, "Campbell, I'm just going to have this phone up here, and when you're hungry, I want you to just say it, and I'll hear it." That's listening to an event or hooking an event. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And we have two events inside of there, on change and on changing. On change is when the selection is changed, and on changing is when we're dragging it. Okay? On change is when we release the mouse. Okay? So it's like this. Look, see, I've got the mouse down. As I move the mouse,
unchanging
right,
now.
and when I
once you
finally
let go,
release it, on
it's
change.
on change.
That's what I think is going on.
That triggers the selection
Yeah.
underscore on change.
And so the way it works is these two are events. Look at the icon under, see that icon right there? That's the icon for an event,
Yeah. Right.
right? Over here, these are methods. See that? That icon is for a method.
Cube.
And there you can see it right up there.
And a property is like a wrench, right?
Yes, exactly. Property is a wrench. And so what's happening is the plus equals says, I want to listen to this event. So if we go back to the other analogy of you're in a room and I've got a phone call in and I'm listening to an event using that plus equals. It's so funny. You're totally frozen in a yawn right now. There you go. You finally got out of it. If that's the case, then and now what happens if mom wants to listen to the event too? Well, she's got to pick up a phone and make a call in, and the plus equals here is like adding another person into the call.
Oh, okay.
So now I could do this. I could have two different methods like this inside hooked up to the on change.
Yeah, all
Two
right.
completely different. I could have methods in different classes listening to events. Does that make sense?
Yeah, more or less.
More or less. That makes sense, more or less. Let's see here. All right. Okay, back to selection. Let's see where else we're at. Got a bunch of code here. And then we're back. We've done a full loop. Okay, so what we need to do, we'll need to stop the app. So I hit Shift F5 to stop the app. We need to change this like this. Get rid of the word static like everywhere. So now, if somebody wants a selection, they're going to need to create an instance of a selection. So I'm using just the rectangular selection there to get those and remove that. I could have also used search and replace as well, but I kind of like to go through. Now, this file should now work, right? All the red lines, we got rid of them because we just basically turned selection into an instance, okay? But now we got to go tab to next reference to see what's going on. Okay, well, we got a problem here, right? So what we need, we're inside main window. Main window needs to have its own selection. So we're going to have selection, type selection, and I'm just going to create a new one when it starts like this. So I've created my new instance of a selection. Okay, got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Got it.
Now here I'm going to replace this with my field variable. See it? Okay. I'm going to do the same thing down here. See that?
Got it. Yes.
Okay. Let's see what else we need to do. Keep tabbing to next reference here. Replace it with the local one. Do the same down here. I'm now in tick graph, by the way. Tick graph, we don't have one yet in tick graph.
We don't?
No, we don't, because we never had an instance down here. We just added it to main window. Right over here. We added this line of code here. Well, guess what? We need a new one in tick graph. Design patterns comes out here. It has something to say. Design pattern says, the way I learned events was that events are like cell phones that call people, numbers. There can be many people listening or ready to answer and hear the information from the call, and the event can only call people that it's told to call when something happens. Yeah, okay, fine. So it's kind of like this, Campbell. I say, hey, Campbell, I want to know when you're hungry. Here's my phone number. And Mom might say, hey, Campbell, I want to know when you're hungry. Here's my phone number. And then you've got now a set of phone numbers, and when it's time for you to, when you're hungry, when that event occurs, you can just fire all those off. Let's see what's going on. I just want to see if I can get, I want to go back, switch back over here for a second. I want to see if I can get Campbell's webcam to update more frequently. See if I've got any speed options there.
Yeah, it appears to have worked.
Configure video, device default,
It's
buffering.
going faster now. I don't know if you did anything, but
I don't really need audio. Buffering, enable. Did that just stop you or no?
no,
Maybe
I don't think so.
color range, color space, resolution, custom. Uh-oh, I lost Campbell. Let's make it smaller. Resolution. Let's try 800 by 600. It's a little lower res, but with less data coming across. Let's make it a little higher. Let's see what we get with 1280 by 1020. Ooh, I like that. Let's see if that fixes you. Wah! Campbell!
Really?
Campbell! Oh no! Let's go fix that. Hold on a second. Transform. Edit transform. Stretch to bounds. Gonna have to. I don't have a great way to fix it from here without kind of restarting. So let's go back in again to the properties, and I'm going to change it back up to the higher res, 1920 by 1080. This is the one I think we had problems with. But I've turned on buffering now. Whoa, now you're giant. What's going on? All right, so it's not that one. Wow. Wowie, wow, wow. I got to go lower res.
Okay.
Better.
Wait, this might just be.
I'm going to do 800 by 600. No, hold on. I'm doing 800 by 600. All right, that's good. I don't know what any of this means, Campbell. All right, they grew up so fast, says Certainly Dev. It's fine as is. He looks like max headroom when he moves. There we go. I think that one's good, and you look like you're not freezing anymore. So maybe the buffering change made an improvement. Okay, so now here's the deal. Tick graph is that custom control. Tick graph, we dropped one of those on here, I'm pretty sure. We do a search in here. I think we'll find it. Tick graph. There it is right there. See it? Ah!
Oh.
Hey.
Oh, and are you saying that if if the slope gets above a certain angle,
What are you talking about
that's
here?
when you want to buy?
Yeah. We might do that, right? So we might say, hey, look, if for hours it's been here and then suddenly it bumps, we might want to say, let's buy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? If we're suddenly seeing a big significant change, that might be, for example, a rule that we add. Well, to add the rule, we need test cases. So we need a really beautiful test case generator for this. That's what we're going to try and do. Okay, back over here, I want to point out we've got a tick graph that we've dropped on here. That tick graph is what we're using to show the ticks as they come in. Right?
Yeah.
The tick graph needs to kind of work with the selection. I just had a great idea. What I think is a great idea. The tick graph will hold the selection. So instead of main window, oh, it's beautiful.
Oh.
Main window doesn't care anymore. I'm getting rid of this. I'm putting it in tick graph instead. Okay, we're going to stick it in tick graph. So tick graph is going to have its own selection. That's exactly where it should be. My apologies for not seeing this sooner. Now, inside here, we're going to have some code that doesn't work, i.e. that. But watch what we can do. Tick graph, dot, and now I'm going to give it an uppercase, and I'm going to make a property called selection inside of tick graph that's going to wrap this up. Or should I just rename this now? Yeah, let me do this. Let me do a rename on this, and then I'm going to add some getters and setters on it. Get and then set like that. Make it public, and now I've just turned what was a field into a property, and I've initialized it. Okay, so now selection. See it there?
It works.
It's going to work all here because, and it works even here too, because it's tick graph dot selection. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Oh, this is a beautiful solution. I like it. All right, cool. So now that tick graph has its own selection, that's exactly what we need. Cool. Let's keep tabbing to next reference through selection and see what's going on. What's going on here? Stock analysis. What's happening here in stock analysis? What is happening in stock analysis? What's going on here? It's selection. I see. Okay, so we can just change this to selection.mode. We can do the same thing here. All that was doing was just saying what it was asking. It was just the namespace is what it was doing. So it was getting the namespace to get in it. Let's keep going. Tap to next reference. Same thing here. We want to get rid of those and there. And so now instead of accessing the class, we're accessing our property. See how it's a different color, by the way? If I undo it, green is the class.
Right, but it's not a class once you get rid of it. It's just a variable or property.
You said it's not a class? Say that one more time. I didn't quite...
Yeah, once you get rid of the stock analysis dot.
Yeah, this is the qualifier.
It
Then
becomes-
it says,
yeah.
well, where's selection? Oh,
It's a
selection
property.
is declared here. It's the closest thing. I've got it. Notice we've got selection here, right? And we've also got selection out here, right? We've got the word 3 different times, but in each case, they kind of mean
Gets it
something.
correct.
What'd you say?
But it gets it. It knows which one to use.
Yeah, based on scope and essentially distance from where I am. Whatever's closest wins, essentially. And if there are two things the same distance away with the same name, that's an error. And it'll be, sorry, I don't know which one of these you mean. As an example, if I created a second variable also called selection, that's an error. Because it doesn't know, now how do I tell the difference between the two?
Right.
Okay, so tap to next reference on this. Okay, these, clean those up. I think we had these fully qualified before because we added this code using edit and continue. And we needed to fully qualify
Oh.
because we couldn't just add stock
Yeah.
analysis to the top. All right, keep going. And that's it. Holy cow. So I don't know if we did it right or not, but if we did, the app should work.
It should, without the selection problem.
Let's get some data coming in here and see if we can create a selection. First test is, can we create a selection?
No. And the dots aren't. Wait, yeah, we can.
Yes, we can. It looks like we can. All right, let's get some points in there, and then let's bring up the test selection button. And now get an independent selection. That looks like it fixed it. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
So now tick graph is awesome. It's even better. It's got it now. It holds its own selection. So
Oh, you know what we should do? We should have like a button that just says select everything on screen.
select
Or
all.
Select all.
Fine. Let's add it right now. You want it? Whoops.
Like maybe a checkbox.
You want it on our test case generator?
Test generator, yeah.
Okay. Select all. All right, let's do it. Where's that?
Wait, can I? That's nice.
Form
That's
test generator. It's right up there. And you want to stop the app because we're going to make some changes to the UI because you can't, with the app running, you won't be able to easily do this.
Okay, so button. Maybe it's I think it's button B.
And then scroll that up a little bit so people can see that. There we go.
Select all.
Select all. Good. Oh, okay. And notice you've got, if you want the font size bigger, you could grab that. If you want to make it big like the others, you can change the width, the height if you want of the button.
Okay, I'll make the width probably the same.
So glad we don't have 4 parties. We only have 3. All right, so you got a width. Get a font size in there. Don't forget your end key. End key and then left arrow. Can get you out there. All right, cool. So select all. What do you do next?
I'm just gonna adjust this. 225. Yeah.
Okay. How do you get code on it?
Wait, there's one more thing I want to do. M0?
Yep. M0 expands out to that, so you can see like what 20 on the left or something like that. That's the left margin right there.
Okay.
There it is.
Yeah.
Good. Nice. Got some extra space. Gives you room for error. Good job. How do I hook up a click event handler to it? Do you remember?
Not really, but I'm assuming.
Easy. There's 2 ways. Yep. This easy. Also an easy. That's totally fine. Another easy way is double click the button.
Okay.
Hit cancel here a second. I think it's just. I think that might be Dropbox interfering with a file lock on it. Okay. So now you can hit tab to next reference. Hit the tab key to get out to that code. Oh, you should be able to. Not working. Okay. Hit undo. Okay. Well, let's go just drill into it. Hit F12. Is that going to work?
No.
There you go. It worked for me.
Oh,
Maybe my
functions
F12s
lock.
aren't, I don't have function lock maybe on my keyboard. Okay, so now we got to select all. Well, we need to go, I think we got a tick graph here. Look at it. There it is right there. See it?
Yeah.
Selection. Dot. We have, is there a set value? I thought that I saw a set value in there. Well, I've got a start and end. So you can say start is equal to. Do I have the chart translator in here? Oh, I've got. I see. Hold on. We're going to just do this. We're going to say tickgraph.select all. Like that. Makes more sense to put the logic inside, right?
Yeah.
All right. Hit control dot to declare that.
Oops. No,
This is super cool what you're doing, Campbell, because you're actually making tickgraph be even smarter about selections. Generate method. There you go. And then you should be able to tap the next reference into it now. And then you can... there you go. All right, cool. So now what we want to do is we want to say selection dot start. That's a date time. That's going to be equal to. See this variable right down here, chart translator
Yeah.
on line 50, right there. Reference chart translator and see if it's got a property like called start or begin or something like that. The chart translator has got the data in it, as I recall. Is there a start? Nothing called start?
Nope.
Let's just do this. And now let's add it. Let's see what's going on. Declare property. Look. Whoops.
Hey, can I have your wallet?
Yeah.
Campbell, I see you. I can see your reaction right now.
No, you
Campbell?
It's floating. Okay, Jesus. All right, I want to go back to where we were over here. Where were we? Here. See the start?
Uh-huh.
See that guy right there?
Yeah.
We had it. We just didn't have it as a... and then we'll come in here and create one called end. Like that. And it'll return end. Okay? So now we're just going to return start and end using these properties. So these are private because they don't have the word private in front of them, but the default is private.
Yeah.
And these are public because we've said
And
they're
so
public.
now we can use those.
Yeah.
And it already has one reference because...
So now we should be able to... Oh, wait. What's this? This is only a getter. Dude.
Oh.
What I miss. Mark, on the next stream, take everything out of your wallet. And then when she asks for your wallet, won't she get a surprise? Moo-ah, moo-ah, moo-ah. All right.
No, you should take it out and replace it with, like, Monopoly bills.
Okay. Okay. We've got a start and anchor, but they're read-only. I think we need a set method here. Selection.set. And we're going to do this.
Why don't we just give it a setter? Or make it not read-only?
I like making it more restrictive to be able to change it.
Your wallet only has euros.
No. It should have... Did you not have enough money?
No, I had money. I have to pay for my own money.
These are not euros.
Oh, yeah.
These are locals.
Sorry. It's all very pretty.
I think it happened, Surly Deb. It totally happened.
What happened?
Surly, nothing. Surly didn't.
I can read the comment.
No, you can't. There's nothing out
What
there.
happened, Campbell?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Just don't read that one right over there. Oh, Surly's drones are moving. He's trying to get out. He's trying to escape the stream. I know what you're saying. Surly said on the next stream, take everything out of your wallet. And when she asks for your wallet, won't she get a surprise?
I don't think that's wise, Surly.
Dude, I don't know if you know this now, but Kieran's only 3 feet tall. I'm sitting in a normal desk.
It's me.
And that's Campbell's actual size of his head right there.
Yep.
That's what's going on. Design patterns laughing out there. Okay, so the question is, why don't we just add setters here? We could solve it that way. We could. I kind of like the more restrictive. Surly Dev says, that's why she's a little cutie. That's true. I like it. I tend to make things more restrictive. So that's all. And because we're making two changes, here's another good reason why. If we put it in the start, if we add a setter to start and we change it, it'll trigger an event that says the selection has changed. And then we set the end, it'll trigger a selection change again. Right? So we get two selection change events because we're changing two properties. But if we give it one method, we're only going to get one event. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
So we can control that. That's why I want to have one setter here. Okay? That's probably the best reason. So here's my set. So now inside here, let's go look at what's going on in start and end. We got it. Oh, it's using cursor and anchor. I see. Look. Cursor and anchor are there. And our cursor and anchor, are those internal? Where are those? I'm not seeing cursor and anchor. Let me hit F12 here. There it is. Oh, cursor and anchor do have setter properties. Guess who wants to get rid of this, make this private?
You?
Your dad. I want to make it so that if we need
Wait.
to set it,
Isn't it by default private?
no, it's not in this case. This makes it public
Oh.
by default, and this changes it
Okay.
for an individual setter. So I'm going to do that. Just so, and we shouldn't break any code because I don't think we're setting it manually anyway. Okay, so my start and my end, what I'm going to do is I'll say, come in and I'll say my cursor is equal to start, like that, and I'll say my anchor, that's the other side of it, is going to be equal to end. So what that's like is if we dragged from the end to the beginning, like that. That's what we're going to do. So we've done those two things. Now what we need to do is we need to trigger an on change, which we can do by calling changed right here. But what if we're setting it to a value that's already the same? We don't want to trigger it again. So what I need to do is check to see is, hey, if cursor is already equal to start, and if the anchor is already equal to the end, then I return. Does that make sense? There will not be a changed event handler.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes sense? So we want to, part of what we're doing, Campbell, is we're trying to make things really efficient, right? So we only fire an event when the event should be fired. We don't fire it twice, and we only fire it if there's actually been a change. So we add code to see, has there been a change? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we've got a setter, and I think that'll compile now. Let's just see. Maybe I missed something, but let's see what a compile does. Nope, we got some errors. Cursor wants to be able to write to it. What's interesting is we're triggering the changing event here.
Oh.
But I'm kind of okay with it because we know we're dragging the mouse right now. We could do this. Let's do this. Selection.changing cursor. We'll create a dedicated method. And we're going to pass in that new time. Whatever that is. I'm going to cut this to the clipboard. And now we've just got this cool method now called changing cursor. Like that. And we get rid of these two. And now there's changing cursor. See that? That I think is a fix. Anchor. I'm not sure whether to have a method called setAnchor or whether I should just simply give this a setter like that. I think I'm going to go with that one. What's this?
Well, why not the other one?
Why not do it for cursor as well? Still trying to control, well, because I don't want somebody to come in and say, oh, I can individually set anchor and then cursor and then I get two events. That's kind of what's going on.
Oh.
Okay, so now what I want to do is set final cursor. This is when the mouse is released. I'm passing in this time, like that. And I'm getting rid of all of that code. And now we've got something that's much better than what we had before. This is going to be my new time, like that. And now look at how much easier the code is to read as well, right? So set final cursor is now its own method. It triggers out change. And now I've got this other one called changing cursor. Maybe I could change that to set changing cursor. Set changing cursor. Does that make sense? We're dragging it.
Is that a squirrel?
What's outside? I don't know what that is. There's something out there. Boxy Bear says hi. Welcome, Boxy Bear. Welcome. We're refactoring a graphing tool, a tool that allows us to see cryptocurrency And we're doing some refactoring here of it. That's kind of what we're working on right now. Let's see if we got a build now. Looks like we might. Okay, everything is built. The test is if we run it and we get some data and then we select the data, bring it up. The test is, will the select all button work? That's the test. So we just need to get some data. This is bringing in live data here from Bittrex. We're watching Bitcoin at this point in time.
And we're converting it to US
What'd you say?
And we're converting it to US dollars.
Yep. I think we're getting data in. We're also, one of the things our app does though is if the price is not changing, our data is pulling out those data points. So it's just stripping them out. And I've said it before, I think that might be a mistake, but it sure feels like a mistake now because okay, there we go. We finally got a little bit of a drop there at the edge. Every time you see that move, we're getting in more data points, but if the price isn't changing, we're stripping them out. And I think, like I said, I think that's a mistake. Got to fix that. All right, you've got enough. I think you can select. You can select all of that. Test selection, and now hit your select all button. Did it work?
Yeah.
Click inside to destroy the selection. Do it again. There you go. Sweet.
And generate test is all those.
Yeah, no code is hooked up to generate test yet. So good. So Campbell wanted to create a select all button. We did. We required some refactoring, but the cool thing about refactoring is like now we've got a tick graph with a really starting to get a very sophisticated selection.
Yeah.
Make sense? Okay.
Uh-oh.
What?
No, never mind.
All right. What's on your mind? What do you want to do?
What's next on the to-do list?
Well, I have to say that select all button was not on my to-do list. Let's go take a look at what we've got for a to-do list over here. I'll add select all and I will cross it off because we nailed that. All right. Make the selection independent. We did that.
I did that.
Good. Work on the test case UI. I want to be able to assign data points to new variable names and assign selections of data points to new variable names and assign times.
Like time ranges or time?
A time.
A specific time.
To a new variable name. Specific time.
Oh, so that like in between one of the shifts, you can say, at this time the price was right here.
Yeah. Assign a price to a new variable name. Right? Does that make sense? So I want to be able to get inside. And I think the best way to do that, by the way, is inside this UI. Here, let's grab a little more data. Switch back over to your machine so you can see it. So I'm just selecting the data right here. Inside here, I want to be able to, I think, right-click anywhere. Like right-click here. And because I've got a data point here, a menu will come up. And I can say now, because I don't have a selection, it'll say create new time variable or create new price variable. And when I do it, we'll see that variable in the list. Okay, that variable will be in the test case.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
And are we going to do, for the time thing, are we going to allow you to add a variable to a time range or no? Because I feel like you could also just do the price. Yeah. Thank you.
iFridge is following.
Follow.
I think I got that right. Looks like an I on the top of there. iFridge. If reading. I'm not sure how to say that. Let me know if you want a proper pronunciation. Let me know how to do that. That's a really interesting question. A time range. I think you're absolutely right. So let's go back into my to-do list over here. So we've got data points, individual. This is going to be individual data points. And the breakdown, it's kind of like the subset of an individual data point are these two, right? In addition to an individual data point, I could just look at the time only or the price only, right? Because those are the components of it. Selections of data points, well, look at what Campbell has come up with. It's brilliant, right? Whoops, comes down over here. It's assign a time range to a new variable name or a price range to a new variable name. Like that.
Yeah, all right.
It's like a range of prices, I guess, and a range of times maybe? Or would it be a min and a max? I'm not exactly sure about this. But I think these
Maybe
might be
it's both.
useful. We'll find out as we start building test cases. Are they useful or not? So we got selection of data points and individual data points. I definitely know. I feel like these for two for sure I'm going to need. So in order to do this, we're going to need a list of variable names that we're building. Let's talk about that class. What does that look like? Okay, it's a test variable is what I think the class name is going to be called. It's going to have some properties. It's going to have one property that's a string called name. We need to know the name of it.
Uh-huh.
It's going to have another property called maybe kind, and it's going to be an enum that's going to be of, it's going to be a
Price, time, price range, and
Maybe-
time range.
maybe single data point range, data point range, price, or time. For now.
Wait, what if it's a data point range of time? Like, what if it's a time range?
Yeah,
or
we can have
price
that.
range? Yeah.
Time range and a price range.
Okay.
The thing is that a data point range has both of these kind of in it, just as a single data point is, but it might be easier to use. I'm just not sure if we're gonna. I'm not quite sure if we need those yet or not. But that's what the kind
Might
is.
be good to have them.
All right, so kind is an enum with those values in it, and then it's going to have. What else will it need? The test variable will need to have a method called generate initialization.
It's gonna need a value, I guess, is one of them.
Method
'Cause
to
once we have
create
the kind, that doesn't exactly tell us what.
test code line that initializes this, that declares and initializes this variable. Okay? This is a method. And I think it should be virtual, which means we're going to override this method in descendants, which means test variable is going to have descendants. Test variable is going to have some descendants, and we'll need one for each of those kinds of things we're going to manage. So we're going to have a test time, a test price, a test data point, a test data range, and then a test time range, and a test price range. Those are all our classes that we're going to need to build right here. These last two, I'm saying let's save these for later. Let's prioritize these because these last two, I'm still not sure if we're going to need these or yet in our test cases.
Okay.
These two are connected to these two right here. I'm going to just make them red so they stand out, and we'll know that the red ones are ones we're not going to build just yet. Okay? I really don't like these red squiggly underlines. Any questions on this, Campbell?
No.
Any questions on this chat room? Any questions? Does this all sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Okay. This, we may not actually need this kind. This, I don't know if we need this yet or not. I don't know if we need the enum. Let me come down here and say maybe. Because if we don't need it, let's not add it. I'm kind of thinking we can get away with a name for this is the variable name right here, right? And this method to generate initialization.
Yeah.
There might be another piece.
Maybe.
A property called color.
Color of what?
Color of the variable as it shows up here, right? Maybe I want to come in and make leading slope purple, right? And then in this list over here, these are where the variables will be listed, right? I can come in and say, let's put in leading slope. Looks like that's coming in all white, but I can now change the color to a purple and maybe give it some more contrast like that. See that right there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that. And then trailing slope might be blue. So that might be a variable we generate as well. See what I'm saying? So this whole...
And then it's more, then it's easier to distinguish what it is. And you don't even have to read it. You can just see, oh, purple, that's a leading slope. Oh, blue, that's a trailing slope.
Yeah. Okay. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That we do something like that. Let's make these all left aligned here. Like that. So I kind of think the list is going to look like this. Those are my variable lists. This is going to say like new variable. Like that. Based on what's selected. So what that also means is I want to be able to put these annotations in the tick graph. I want to be able to put this annotation. Annotation is like this rectangle.
Yeah.
On the tick graph, right? If we go back and look at your machine, right? That means I want to be able to select something.
A square or just a selection that goes all across the screen? Like that?
See how we're selecting it now? When I give this a new variable name and give it a color, I want this to be highlighted in a certain color.
Okay. And would you want it to maybe also be like you can do it in a square so that you can determine how tall it is as well, or no? Would that be not necessary?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that isn't, maybe that's something to think about. Okay, so we need a right-click menu item.
Oh no, I guess you don't need that because if you just wanted it up to here, you could do that. It's more...
What'd you say?
I guess it takes more precision to do it this way, but it still works. Like if
When you say this way,
if you just want to select until this point, you can kind of do that. So that it doesn't go further down than what you want.
I see.
But then I guess if it went back up over here and you wanted to get that as well, I guess you wouldn't ever need that though. Okay then, never mind, I'll stop talking now.
You might also be able to maximize this and it'll stretch it out, giving you more room to select right between the two. See that?
Yeah.
We don't yet have zooming on the tick graph, but I imagine that the tick graph will get smarter and better as we move forward.
Hopefully.
So I want a right-click menu. Hold on. I just right-clicked and it kills the selection. See that?
Ooh.
I want to get rid of that. Let's see if we can fix that. That's going to be, I think, in the tick graph. and preview mouse down. Goes into handle mouse down. Let's set a breakpoint right there. Right click, mouse event args. See the changed button is right.
Yeah.
So basically I want to say, hey, if e.button state is pressed and if the change button is right, then get out. So I'm going to say, hey, if e.change button equals right and is it just pressed? No. What was the second piece we needed? Button state. Then we get out. So we're just going to hit F10. There, see it? So we're out. So now that shouldn't destroy it. Right clicking no longer destroys it. See that? Left clicking and dragging will change it. Right clicking doesn't destroy it.
And just left clicking will also just, yeah, okay. Left clicking will destroy.
Oh, let's see if I can come over here and I just click and release. Yeah, like that. Okay, next we want the right click menu. So we're going to have to close it down, I think, to add the menu to the tick graph. No, I don't think I want it here. I want it in the form test generator, SAML. I need the menu in here. There's my tick graph right there. I forget how to do this. Context menu. I want to say it's something like this. Context menu. What's this? Cannot have a logical or visual parent. Well, what that's telling me is it's got to come out here. No. Where does it go? I wonder if there's a way I can do something like this. Hold on. Local dot tick graph dot. Is there a context menu option here? I'm going to have to go look it up if I don't find it. Context menu. There. Now what's my problem? Can't be empty. That's a good problem to have. Then I think it's MI for menu item. And whoa, and what's my problem here? Context menu. Wait. Oh, I have to put context menu here. Let's see how this works.
Really?
Kind of interesting. I guess it does make sense. So this is the property name and this is the instance.
Oh.
I think that's what's happening here. And so now if I put in that, are we still running? Is test selection up? It looks like it's not. So let's click on test selection and right click. Whoa, look at that. See it?
Yes.
Okay. So now we need to put some menu items in here. One of the menu items is, and we're going to have, like, I think at least 4. Come back over onto my machine here. We can take a look at what we were talking about here. We need to create a new time variable, price, data point, or data range. That's kind of the idea there. So back over here in the code. So we're going to say new time variable. I'm going to do this. Let me see what happens with this. Yeah, look, this is kind of non-standard, but I'm using this as I don't want to have the words new and variable on every single line. I want to instead just say new variable and then have time, just the word time all by itself underneath it. That's what I'm trying to do here.
That's fair.
So I'm going to come down in here and I'm going to say this one's going to be time, like this. I'm going to have another one called price, another one called data point.
Data point and data range.
And another one called data range, right? New data range variable. So there's that and this one here, like this. And so now when we right click, new variable, see, it's easier to read. There's less visual noise. Does that make sense? Otherwise I'd say new time variable, new price variable, all of that.
And then you couldn't scan the first letters and see
right.
What it is.
Yeah, your eyes would be going down the middle, and it would be harder to work with. Okay, so good. That's good. Now we need to hook some events up here, but we cannot hook events while the program is running unless we're at a breakpoint. So we need to get to a breakpoint. Let's go find a breakpoint out there. I think there's going to be a breakpoint in tickgraph.handle mouse down. Fine, we'll do it there. I'll click on it. There's my breakpoint. I just needed to get here so I could now hook up some events here. I need an event that's fired when the context menu, I think, appears. Can you do me a favor? Can you tap the control key right there? See how it says control? Tap control for options. And then now hit E for events. And now, okay, still a lot of events. We're looking for...
Wait, you can do control again, right? For... Oh, H.
H for hierarchy.
Oh.
Oops. Try again. Tap. H. Interesting. Let me report an issue with this. Give me a second. We're dog food and code rush here. Looks like we found an issue on Campbell's machine. So I'm not going to send a log file over to you, but here's what's happening. We're in edit and continue. We hit control space. We tap control. We hit H for hierarchy. And nothing happens.
And then
I'm expecting that we should see the hierarchy of all the properties in XAML. So it looks like hierarchy doesn't work inside of XAML is what it looks like. So we can still filter off events, but we just can't now do a cross section across the hierarchy. Okay, give me a second, Camel, because I need to report that as an issue. We're going to say the issue is hierarchy doesn't work in XAML. And let me paste that out into the chat room so the dev team can see it. Bless you. Okay, so back over here, we got to find an event. Tapping control E for events. I think this is called, I don't know, I want to type in appear. No. Open. What's Surly doing with our code? Get out of here, Surly. Get out of here. You're messing up my code, man. There's an opened context menu opening. See that? That's what I want to hook.
Uh-huh.
Okay. With that hooked, now what's going on now? It's not going to let me do it? Set a breakpoint there. Let's see if we can do a run. See if it'll work or not. I'm not sure if it is or not. Right click. Nope. We're not getting the event. I think we're going to have to restart. I think that line, that squiggly line back over in here. Yeah, this change is not supported by XAML hot reload. It is not applied until we restart. So I'm just going to save that, kill the app, restart it. Is there anything else I need to do? Well, you know what, actually, let's do, so we don't have to restart twice in a row, just in case. I want to create event handlers for these two guys right here. For these, when they're clicked. See that? So I'm going to do click, and then new event handler. Oops, it's got a bad name. Let me try this. I'm going to use the XN template to create menu item time, like that. And now let's try creating the click event handler. Does it give it a better name? Yeah, see that? So what
Yeah.
it needs,
Oh, menu item. Okay.
what'd you say?
Nothing. I just got what the MI was for.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I just understood what the MI was for. And I,
MI, menu item, yeah.
menu item.
I marked this as a okay, and this will be price. These all have to be unique names. Data point, and this is going to be data range, like that. Okay, then we're going to create event handlers for each one of these. Can you do the next two?
Yeah. Oops.
Control
What is it?
space. There you go, click. New event handler. Down arrow will get you that. Control space will bring it up again. You got another menu up and up over there. Yeah, control space. There you go. And then down arrow will get that new event handler. Down arrow and then enter. There you go. Good. Give me one more down there on line 17. Good. Okay, now let's run it, and I want to make it so only the items that make sense appear. I only want to see two menu items, either these if we have a single point, or these if we have a whole selection. Okay? That's what I want to do. So we're going to hook the context menu opening. Oops, build errors. What does it say? Cannot set name attribute. Menu item is under the scope of tick graph, which already has a name registered when it was defined in another scope. Interesting. No names here. All right, fine. Let's try that now. Okay. So again, we're watching Bitcoin, waiting for some data to come in. Wasn't this like 32,000 the last time we did this show?
Yeah.
That's
It's
kind of
gone up
quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
It's like 25%.
I noticed it when it first started, and I was like,
When we first started the show?
yeah. And when I first got it up.
Here, let's turn off analysis so we've just got... Just got two data points in here. So if I right click, all of them are showing. What I want to see is only time or price or data point, because we've only got one data point essentially
Oh.
kind of selected is what
So
I'm
you
suggesting.
don't want data range.
I don't want data range. And if I'm doing this, I want to right click. I want to see only data range.
Data range or time and price, right? Because no, just data range.
Maybe time range and price range if we add those two. Okay, so that's what I want to do. The code where I believe we need to put that code is right in here. Inside context menu opening. Uh-oh, we got a breakpoint. We didn't see it. Wrong event. Didn't really make a change there. All right, let's stop this a second. So that event's not helping us. Context menu opening. What other events do I have? Control event. I got opened. Let's see if that one solves it. So you need to set a breakpoint there. Looking to find an event that fires This one looks like it's failing. This one, right here, maybe we got some hope over with this one. Somebody buy or sell Bitcoin. We need the price to change. We could also get rid of that code. Get rid of the code that removes same prices pieces, so we can actually have a bunch of data points here. I think I'm going to do it right now. I think that's going to be in Chart Translator. I think we've got an add data point in here. Add stock position, custom tick. Here's the line. See this?
Yeah.
That's and what's the last point? Last point is used inside here too. Let's set a breakpoint in here. Okay. All of this is to remove matching data points. Would that be a good name for that?
Yeah.
And I'm going to comment it out. And we're going to run. What'd you say?
Why are you commenting it out?
So we can actually see the data points in the line. That's what I'm looking for. So we don't have to wait so long if the price changes, right? To still get some data that we can come in and see a test selection with. So I'm testing selection. Right click this. Good. Okay, so now we've got the open call. What we want to do in here is I think we want to say, hey, tick graph, are you out there? Selection dot exists. So if the selection exists, oh no, I can't modify the menu items if I don't have a name for them. Why didn't it allow me to get a good name for that? Let's see if we can understand that error a little bit more better. Let's go back and put the names back in. Just to make sure it's not collision, I'm going to give it a unique name. Just add the number 2 at the end there. Let's see what happens if we run it. So under the scope of element tick graph, which already had a name registered when it was defined in another scope. I think this is a limitation of user controls, apparently. Tick graph. Well, I think we can pull this out as a static resource, and we might be able to make it work. The problem is, Campbell, I don't know how to do it. Let's see if we can make it work. Windows Resources. Can I put this in here? No, what does it need? How do I do this? Just have a key. So I think XK is going to give me that. And we're going to say the key on this is the add variable menu, like that. And then down here, how do I do this? I think I do it, no, there's no content here, no property. how do I access this one from here? Because I wanted to say now I want to use this. Gonna have to look it up, Campbell. Let's switch back over to my machine. We're gonna say XAML use window resource. I think like that. Use static Windows resource. Got a resources overview. So, see this Campbell right here? These are resources for the window. If we look back over at your code, we have the same piece right there, Windows resources, goes from here to here. We moved the context menu outside of our local tick graph is what we did because the error message says it couldn't handle it. What I'm trying to do is get this context menu to be referenced right here. And I'm just not sure how to do that yet. So I'm looking for a way to do that. There's pieces with styles in here. I can maybe use a setter to do it. Let's look for a more specific example. Let's add the word context menu, like that. Okay, look at this. This is what we've done. See this?
Yeah.
That's what we've done so far. List box. Context menu is equal to that. Okay, so let's try that. I'm going to now change.
You just used a menu to copy code to create a menu.
You're right, I did. I did do that. So I think I can get rid of this right here. And I can come in up here and say context menu is equal to, and then I copy that in the clipboard. It's going to be equal to that. And then it's going to have to use this as its name. And will that work for me? Ooh, I think that might work. Then, now I can come down in here. Let's try running, just make sure it runs. No errors. Good. All right, sweet. So we figured that out, I think. Let's come in here and give these good names all the way down here. So we've got a menu item called price, a menu item called data point, and a menu item called data range. Whoops. Okay, now let's run it. See how we do. Let's get some data in. And let's select it. Let's right click it. All right. So if the selection exists, then we want to go find MI, and we want to find MI. I've got the event handlers, but I can't see. Oh, because it. Where is it? It's not in.
I think we have a bug in our code. It's not that important, so we don't need to get rid of it.
I'm having a problem here, though, Campbell, in that I can't seem to access this variable. Ugh.
Is it not public?
No,
Is it
it's
static? Is it...
it's in the XAML. It's right here in the XAML. I don't have a name for this guy. Let's try this. Let's give this guy a name. And we're going to say add variable context menu. Give it a nice big fat name. Now, if down here, can I see it? No suggestions. I can't see that either. Okay. Yeah, I have a feeling that accessing these by names, we're going to have problems with that too. We're going to have to... All right, let's do another search. Let's jump over to my machine. Actually, let's go look down here. Anything else? If they're going to talk about it, they'd be in this space talking about it, I think. Oh, look who's here! Coding Gorilla. Here to save the day. Saving the day, Campbell. Coding Gorilla says, I think it's not a member on the window because it's in the resources. Yeah, I'm just not sure how to get to that. What? It's Bob Builder, Balded. He's building, he's balding, he's bearded, and he's like, he's coming in, he's still flying too low, you're flying too low, oh. I told you he was flying too low. Campbell, this isn't Saturday.
No.
He says, the heck? This
is
isn't
Friday.
Saturday. What?
This is Friday.
This is Friday. Campbell's here on Fridays. Fridays and Saturdays. Hey, don't make Campbell explode like that, please. Who did that? Janisco, 7. You saw it. You better watch that. Coding Monkey's in the house. Oh my God, bee is in the house. It's too many bees, but it's fine. That's what Pudding says. Too many bees. Hey kids, look what we're trying to figure out. You guys may know, if you're smarter than us, you may know. We've got some window resources. I want to access them by name in the code behind. I tried doing
But
this.
we can't.
It's in the resource. And, you know, in my code behind, Bald Bear Bill says I've been gone too long. I don't remember when KidzCode is. Friday and Saturday. Yeah, in my code behind, I'm trying to get to it in some way. I can't get to it like with MI Price. It's like, who are you? What are you? It says, I know you got a click, but I don't know that you've got anything called MI Price. What? Am I a ninja now? All those growing and minimizing. That should have worked, by the way. I thought I had Campbell's thing. I had set him.
Oh, maybe it's.
Coding Gorilla says there's a
thing.
resource dictionary in the window. I think you have to access it from that, but I don't think you can do it by name. Yeah, okay. I think it's something like there's a resource dictionary. There's a resources. Object key. I'm wondering, what if I did that? I guess. You know what? Let's set a breakpoint in here and let's just see if we can figure it out using just the tools that we have here instead of looking it up. That's my brilliant idea. I kind of feel like we got some data. All right, just grabbing some data. There we go. Let's get a little more data in there. Test selection. Grab that. Right click. Okay. What happens if we go to resources of that guy right there? What is that? Oh, is it going to work or not? Let's see. I'm going to hit F10. F10. We got something. We got a menu with 5 items in it. Okay. So now if I'm going to say, what if I get the one that's MI price? What is that? Is that going to be, oh, it doesn't find MI price. Hold on. It doesn't find that,
Dang it.
but it did find this. Interesting. All right, so we're going to kind of have to, it looks like we're going to have to fight our way through this, Campbell. Pudding said, I'm blue. Da-da-day, da-da-day, day. That's the name, not the key. No, it found the X key. It found the X key. Did I mess that up? Add variable context menu. Add variable menu is what it found. Oh. Does that mean... Hold on. If you guys are right, does that mean I can do this? Wait, not while we're running, probably. Key attribute only used on tag contained in an iDictionary type property. Okay, no, we can't do that. All right, fine. We're just going to go do this. We're going to get the context menu. We'll say we're going to typecast it as a context menu. We're going to do this, and we're going to say menu, like that. Let's try this. Run this line of code again. Uh-oh. That came back null. Is it because it wasn't a context menu or because I used the wrong key? Add variable menu. I used the wrong key. My bad. Okay, one more time. Is that going to work? That worked. Okay, so now we've got our menu. Menu's not null. Then I do have a find, like a find child. Find name. Finds an element that's a provided identifier name. Let's now look for MI price. Kind of a little more work than I would expect to fight through this. Let's see what this line of code does. What do you think? Are we going to get a... are you a gambling man, Campbell?
No, not really.
Okay, so you want to bet like $200 on this?
Probably not.
Okay, and so if it's right, I win $700?
No, I never said that.
It's null. It didn't find MI price off a menu.
In which case, yeah, definitely.
Man, really making me work hard. Items. Okay, let's do this. Items dot... I have like a find inside of items. I don't have a find in items. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to write some code. Hi. I don't give you enough pocket money to bet with. That's what I said. Ha! All right. So I think what I want to do is I want to create a method that says called get menu item. And it's going to take a string for the menu item name. And Campbell, I'm apologizing because there should be a faster, easier way to do it, but it's not. I don't see what it is. Coding Gorilla says single or default X name equals MI price. Yeah. I was not finding it. I think it's because I don't have, well, I got collection generic system length. I got both of those up there. We'll see if that works. Menu.items dot single or default. Yeah, see, they're not showing up for me. Items is something weird and different. It's an item collection, which is a collection view. It implements iList. I'm not understanding why that's not working for me. Right? I'm not seeing single or default. I'm not even here yet. I can still speak.
Fred's is closer to me than mine is.
Yeah, I don't know why that is.
I think it might be because when you changed my size during the beginning of the show.
That's not it, unfortunately. All right, so I'm just going to do this. Look, I acknowledge that there's probably a smarter way to do it, but I don't know it. I don't know what that is. So we're going to go in and I'm going to say menu.items. Yep, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that. Items again is, let's switch back over here. item collection. Is there another property on here that I'm just missing, like a dot items that would solve everything? I don't see it here. What's happening, Campbell? Can you tell me what's happening on what bubbles are they making us say right now?
They're making Fred, or Invisible Fred, say stuff like, "I'm just here, invisible and vibing, and it's because of my awesome new power, Barbarian Invisibility."
All right. Vibing, not vaping.
Yes.
Kids, don't vape. It's bad for you. All right. So now we're going to come in and say get menu item. And I haven't finished it yet. But I'm going to do this. And this is going to return a menu item. Like that. And let's declare local like that. Okay, good. Next. I want to step through this code. And let's just do a return null at the end for right now so we can, I want to step through it. So let's put the caret there. What's my problem? And this. Yeah, okay, right there. Now put the caret right there. Try to execute it. Okay. All right. If item is menu item, that's a great start, I think. And I'm going to create a variable called menu item, and then we're going to set a breakpoint down here. We should get to there when I run. Good. So now we've got a menu item. Now we can check to see if its name is the same. Hey, if menu item dot name equals the one we're passing in, this parameter, then I'm going to return something. What am I going to return, Campbell? Do you have a sense? Are you watching and following this? What am I returning?
Well, menu item. Yeah, menu item name, right?
Menu item name is being passed in. So if I return that, I just get this string back.
Yeah.
What I'm looking for is the actual menu item.
Oh, so then just menu item.
That's exactly what I want.
Lowercase
Right there.
m.
So I want to return the menu item. And then otherwise we don't find it, we return null. So now we get down there. Oh, the name wasn't equal. Oh, because it has a different name. So we'll keep going. Look at the next menu item. What's this menu item's name? MI time. We're looking for MI price. This looks like it's going to work. And we found it. And now we're returning it. Sweet. Okay. So now that we know that that code works, we're going to now declare the variables ourselves. MI price is going to be one of these. We're going to come down here. You have MI time. We're going to have MI, what's the other one that we had? Data point. And MI data range. Like that. Okay, now we'll execute these lines of code. 1, 2, oops, clear the breakpoints. A lot of brute force and ignorance required to get to this point. Uh-oh, unable to read, what? Got problems with all of those?
Uh-oh. But they're different.
Yeah, these are, that's interesting. So edit and continue. So if I come in here, let's see what happens if I do like an add watch on that. Yeah. So we have a problem with the debugger. I think these are valid and working, but the debugger is unable to help us out too much. Help us out on it. So what I want to do, if the selection exists, then I want to say, if not null, then we'll say data range dot visibility is equal to visibility dot what? the data range menu item, if we have a selection, should that be visible or should it be hidden? Visible or hidden?
Oh, hidden. If
there's a selection, if there's a selection, my data range allows us to create a new variable with a data range. Does that make sense? It says data range. Right here.
Okay. Sorry, I was confused on that. It looked at first. I thought it was isn't equal to value, but then I thought it was is equal to no.
Sorry, this is the real test right here. If the selection exists, should this be visible or
visible? It should be visible, and then the others should be collapsed.
Okay.
Or not collapsed, hidden.
Yeah. Let's see if I can. Can I do that? No, I probably cannot do that. That's what I want to do. Okay, so I'm going to assume that he's going to find all these. Is what I've decided. I'm going to do that. And then we're going to get, in fact, I think what I want to do is get these up in advance up here. Like that. And so down here, up here, I want to say data range, data point is going to be hidden, as you suggested. Time is going to be hidden. And price is going to be hidden. And then otherwise, we're going to swap these around. This one's going to be hidden, the other three will be visible. Okay? That's kind of all we've done. All this work for the last 40 minutes has been to solve that. Let's run it and see what happens. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so we need to collapse them.
Exactly. We need to collapse it. Let's do that. Sorry about that, Campbell. You want to fix that for me?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to right-click on here. Wait, right-click. There we go. Okay, go ahead. Once that's up there, you can hit copy key.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And then
Oops.
Control Shift left arrow is the fast way to select that.
Yeah.
Control Shift left arrow. There you go.
V.
And then one more. You can also double click it and then paste. Okay. Clear the breakpoint, save, run.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, we actually got this event now all of a sudden. We didn't have that before.
No, we didn't.
Okay, so right click, new variable, data range, clear the selection, right click,
Yes.
new variable, time, price, or data point. Okay?
Perfect.
All right, now let's look at the breakpoint. Let's set a breakpoint for when we create a new variable. Look at that. That's going to be in here. In one of these. Okay, go ahead and interact with it and make sure we hit those breakpoints. Once you hit a breakpoint, you can just hit run. SurlyDev says, refactor those 10 lines down to 4. Oh, ignore me. Oh, you were.
Wait.
Sorry, SurlyDev. Good. That one works. Hit run. F5 is your shortcut to run as well.
Yes.
That one works. Hit F5 to run.
Oh,
Or just click. Right click. Data point. Good. That one works. Run. Now give me a range.
Selection.
Data range. Sweet. Okay, good. Good ending point, I think, for today. Tomorrow we're going to pick this back up again.
Wait, I want to try one more thing. No. F5.
What do you want to do?
I want to see if I've got a selection here. And then I do this. Yeah, okay.
Any thoughts?
I was just wondering if it was closer to a dot that's outside of the range, it still does the data range.
Yes.
Good to know. Oh,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah, because all it's doing, the only logic it's doing here, Campbell, is this. This is the only test
yeah.
if a selection exists.
It doesn't matter if it's close to the selection.
Right.
If it,
We could do something that said, hey, if you're right on top of it.
no, I don't think we need to.
Excuse me. Sorry about that, kids. Okay. Anything else? What are you thinking?
No, nothing else.
Okay.
That was a good show.
Yeah, it was. Thanks, everybody, for your help out there. Certainly, apologies for missing your refactored those 10 lines down to 4. I think he's talking about, I don't know, maybe these right here. Remove block delimiters, remove block delimiters. That's what he's talking about. We can come in here and we can combine conditionals. So we have 2 checks right there like that. It doesn't like it because we're running the app, but that should all still work. Okay. I think that's what Surly was talking about. Okay, let's check in the code.
Yeah. Okay. So, can you bring up the to-do list?
Yeah, I will bring up the to-do list. Let's go back over to my machine. We're not quite here. We made it so we can, we have a right-click menu. Right-click menu to add new variables. So we're kind of there. We're not actually adding new variables yet. We'll do that tomorrow. The preview of that is over here, by the way. We're going to have a class called test variable that'll have the name of the variable, probably its color, maybe its color. I'll throw that down into maybe. And an abstract method called generate initialization that we're going to override. I'll change that to abstract right here. Sorry, Camel, I know you were looking, you wanted to see what we had done today.
No problem.
So we made the selection independent. We fixed that bug. Yes, Kwaku Emma. Yes, it's WPF. That's what we're working on.
And we made the UI a bit better. Or no. We moved everything into tick graph. Or not everything.
Right, we moved selection down. We made the selection an instance instead of a static. It used to be a static, and now we made it an instance of tick graph. So every tick graph has its own individual selection now. And we also added select all.
Yeah, I got that.
We did that, and we did this too as well, right there. All right, let's get right started. Kids, thanks so much for hanging out with us today.
Goodbye. See you tomorrow. Right? Yeah, tomorrow.
We send you over to Heck Brent. Looks like they're starting soon, so we'll get you sent over there. Have a good day, everybody.
Goodbye.
Take care. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Happy Friday the 13th.
Happy Friday the 13th. What the? Kibble, they're asking for the GitHub. Sorry, kids. I know we're still streaming here. Let me go get that GitHub and put it in the chat room right there. Oh.